unimpressed face?
I'm watching somebody make up formula milk with way too many explanations.
It's formula milk, right? You just add it to a bottle of milk or water, whatever it is.
Yeah, you add it to water.
I don't remember. I don't know how you need a video for that. Read box, follow steps.
Well, there's a video for it now.
Where's there? Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for joining us on this. It's actually been quite a nice day. It's been sticky and hot, isn't it? It's been I don't know. I've been sat at the desk all day with the computer on, and I feel like it's been a bit warmer than I expected it to be. In fact, if I could get away with like a mini air conditioning unit under the desk, just blowing cold air up my trouser leg into my balls, I'd do it. If I thought I could get away with that, I'd do it. One session of loose hoovering. What's this? I wouldn't. That'd be it then done, wouldn't it? Yeah. Lucy doesn't pay attention. She's too busy watching reels. Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to the channel. Thank you for joining us. If you haven't already, hit all the magical YouTube buttons for us. And actually, whilst we're on that note, to everybody who has shown the bike channel love today with its first video, I'm going to say a quick thank you. It's like at 84 subscribers or something right now, which is 84 more than I expected on day one. To be honest with you, and a load of it is you people, because you've been in the comments jumping in and saying, yeah, I'm interested in this. You lot are amazing. Whatever we do, whatever shit content we put together, you're like, I'm here for it, I'm going to watch it. Thank you so much, you amazing human beings, for showing it some love already. That's mad. 200 videos, 200 views on a video for a brand spanking new channel is unheard of, unless we do something crazy and viral. So thank you, you're amazing. And thank you so much for all the crazy support yesterday, which has also already continued. On the Peachy stream last night, we hit 100 members in 15 minutes, which was fucking mental. Will Stewart's already come in and dropped 20 members right off of the bat. Will, thank you so much. You beautiful, beautiful human being. I started it up here with 20. Evan's come in and dropped 2 again. I do still have to manually update, however, right now, because it hasn't been fixed. But thank you so much, Evan, for the 2. Up to 20 members off the bat, almost a quarter of the way there, and I barely said hello. You lot are incredible. You're amazing. The stream support yesterday was fucking phenomenal. Peachy did message me. I made sure him and Joe both texted me when they got home, so I knew they got home safe. It's the modern day equivalent of give me 3 rings, right? So I know you got back safe.
I never had that.
Did you not?
No.
No. So he texted me when he got back at 2:30 in the morning. He had to drop his hire car back at 9 AM. So he probably had a rough morning, but he came all this way just to do the streaming yesterday. All he did was come to stream Warcry and hang out with us. And I was like, mate, are you sure? And he was like, yeah, I want to. And now he's talking about coming back again another time before the end of the year. He was talking about coming back and doing one more. I was like, this. I mean, I'm going to say yes, of course I am, because he's one of our people. I think it's very evident in yesterday's stream. He's definitely part of our tribe. So, oh, by the way, you've got a Mead stream tonight because there's no Friday stream because we're in Sheffield. So, treat. Cheers. So he came all the way down just to do those streams. I actually found out as well why he drove back.
Is it because he's a man that enjoys a bed with his wife in than a bed without his wife in?
I mean, possibly. I think most men can say that. Most, not all, but most. My dad might argue. But most men might probably can say it nowadays, right? That, however, from the dinner that we had together wasn't necessarily the reason why he didn't stay down in Southampton.
So something to do with the dinner?
So he stayed in Southampton last time. He stayed overnight on the Tuesday. So we finished the stream. He went and stayed in the hotel. He drove home that morning. He got there and there was a car park, right? And he knew he had to pay for the car park. So he asked, where do I pay for the car? You pay over there, cool. So he went, paid for the car park, cool. Went to bed, got up the next morning, had his breakfast, drove home. Thought nothing more of it.
Okay.
This was 4 or 5 months ago, remember? Right? It's
Yeah.
Black April time. Had a letter through the post recently from the car parking people saying, you owe us a lot of money because you didn't pay for parking.
Yes, I
don't
did.
fucking think so.
Yeah.
So he responded with a photograph of his receipt. He's already more organised than I am.
Well done.
I wouldn't have kept that.
Yeah.
So he took a photograph of his parking receipt, sent it back to him and went, I fucking did. And then they've said, sorry, case is closed immediately. There's not enough evidence there. So we'll let you pay the £50 instead of the £80 or whatever. Or you can appeal and go to the ombudsman.
Appeal it.
And he's like, I'm fucking appealing it.
Yeah.
So I was like, so did you not stay over tonight simply because you didn't want to stay in a hotel and possibly pay for parking? And he's like, yeah. I was like, why didn't you say?
He's a man of
I
principle.
have a fucking spare bed, you clown. I was like, He was
Yeah.
like, well, I didn't want to. I was like, well, I appreciate it, but that's why he left the studio at 11 o'clock at night and drove 3 hours back to Derby.
I hope he does appeal it, because that's bullshit.
Oh no, he has appealed. He absolutely has appealed
Yeah.
it. 100% he's appealed it. I just thought I'd share that story. Fucking private car park companies in this country are a bunch of absolute wankers, aren't they?
There was a thing in Totton, one of the private car parks, that somebody had called citizens advice or something, and apparently you can just, on this particular car park, you can just ignore because it's not.
I don't know the rules.
It's not binding.
I've heard a lot
or
of stuff
something.
about people that are able to ignore or argue or whatever.
Yeah.
I've never tried it. I don't want to try it on the off chance it's a stupid fine or something.
Not enough evidence. A photograph.
So he had a photograph of the receipt of his parking, and they were like, not enough evidence. So what else can I do? Like drive back down the car park? I was like, here, this is where I parked. Here, like I don't.
Because the receipt would have, so not enough evidence. The receipt would have the time that he paid. So check their CCTV.
The receipt
on
will
the
have
car park.
the receipt will have everything, I think.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Stick Monkey, thank you for 10 gifted, up to 32, over a quarter of the way there. You wonderful people. Tonight I want to get at least as many gifted members as we have subs on the bike channel. That's the goal, right? Which is like, I have got a rant incoming, Kev. Actually, I've got a rant. I've got a rant saved up inside me right now. If we get to 87 gifted members, we've got one more member than we've got subs on the bike channel. There's your target, right? Go. Which hotel? All the things are staying up. I don't know which one. I didn't ask him, if I'm honest, nobody. But yeah. So this weekend I'm off to play Warhammer 40k at the Hellstorm event. Well, I'm at least off to play Warhammer 40k at the Hellstorm event for the Saturday. However, there's a bar on site, and now Paddy's going. There's a strong possibility I won't be playing any Warhammer 40k on the Sunday, because I will probably like my bed far too much after a day on the source with Paddy, because him and I are terrible at encouraging each other. So I'm off to play Warhammer 40k. And actually, I went from, when I booked the tickets, being like dreading it, to now actually kind of looking forward to it, because I've managed to reignite my love for 40k, as we've spoke about, right? We've talked about this quite a lot, about looking forward to or getting back into enjoying 40k and finding that passion again. And I think there's I put it into leaning into my favourite army and going back to Eldar and painting things I enjoy painting and all that kind of stuff. And I think that's definitely had a huge impact on it. But Joe and I discussed something yesterday which I hadn't really thought about. And actually now I've stopped and thought about it, having had that conversation with Joe. I actually think it's been incredibly prevalent in me enjoying actually 40k again, right? And this alludes to the stream title and actually the whole purpose for Peachy coming down yesterday. Because one of the things I think has helped my attitude towards Warhammer 40k is getting involved in other game systems. Now, if you followed the channel from the early days, and some of your names I've seen you following from the very, very early days, we had initially launched under the premise of being a Warhammer 40k channel. And up until probably around 5 to 6 months ago, all we ever really covered was Warhammer 40k and nothing else. That's near 7 years of content following Warhammer 40k and not really following anything else at all. And I think that's become, or had at least become, the channel's comfort zone, right? That's what people subscribe to us for, that's what people are watching content for, and that's what I thought we just had to keep producing in order to keep those numbers in the right place. Now, evidently with the addition of 10th, that's not necessarily happened even whilst keeping up content. The numbers have shown us that perhaps people aren't enjoying it as much as they used to. And so it kind of gently nudged me to do something that I'd wanted to do for ages and kind of didn't really have the balls to do. And that was launch Age of Sigmar on the channel. And I've said to you a million times before, I'm more of a fantasy lore setting person than I am a sci-fi lore setting person. The Warhammer 40k lore setting is so good. It's one of the only sci-fi lore settings that's ever hooked me this much. And so we launched Age of Sigmar. Actually, we haven't just launched Age of Sigmar. We've done other things. So with Mr. the Mikado coming on the channel, we launched Heresy for the first time. We did a first ever Heresy battle report. Peachy here yesterday meant we did Warcry. I've now been looking at Shatterpoint. Joe still wants to bring Bolt Action. We're looking at trading card games. We're looking at other things inside even the Warhammer universe, like Kill Team, etc. as well. Blood Bowl, blah, 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 right? So, you know, it's... I think actually that touching on these new game systems, discovering Heresy's rule sets, learning about Age of Sigmar, and basically picking models over rules because we didn't know the rules, diving into Warcry warbands and just looking at what's cool. I think all of that stuff has had a direct impact on my attitude towards Warhammer 40k and what I want to do. So I'm taking a list this weekend to Hellstorm, which I think is fucking dog shit, and I don't think I'm going to win any games. And I'm actually okay with that. I actually don't really care. I've picked a bunch of stuff that I like and I think looks cool. And I'm taking stuff because I think it's cool, rather than because I think it's good. In fact, Mikey on Monday night went over both mine and Joe's lists, and you could see the slight look of bewilderment on his face when he went, I don't understand what they're doing. And me and Joe, I'm going to have some fun. Who cares about winning? And so I actually think that this newfound like rediscovery of picking shit because it's cool and learning about shit for the first time, because we haven't done this in 40k for ages, because 40k is our job. We have to be in and amongst the weeds, we have to be in the details all the time, and we do start to learn about what's efficient, what's good, what's bad, etc, etc. And so with AOS and going, that's cool, that's cool, that's cool, that's the stuff I'm going to have, doing similar with Warcry warbands, looking at Heresy, looking at Middle Earth, etc, I think that's made me go back to Warhammer 40k and go, why do I give a shit if this unit's efficient? I don't. This is cool, so that's what I'm going to build. I think you can even do this within the GW ecosphere itself, right? You don't even need to step outside of Games Workshop if you don't want to, and you can still reapply an old attitude to a game you played for years where perhaps you may have slightly lost your way. And what I'm saying, I guess, the long story short here, is I think that Warhammer 40k in general, because of 10th edition, because it's a tournament edition, I think I slightly lost my way. I think that's what's happened. I think Joe has been guilty of this as well. Brom has been guilty of this as well. We've gone back into the what's efficient. How can I build a list that thrashes my opponent? How do I make sure I win? Rather than I like how the Wraith units, so I'm going to take them because they're cool. And then when someone like Mikey on Monday goes, why has he got Banshees in his list? Because Banshees are cool. That's why. They're not very good. No, but they're cool. That's why. And it's rediscovering having fun rather than trying to be perfect and optimal. I think that's the lesson. Hence the title, right? My eyes have been opened to a world outside Warhammer 40k. Not just outside Warhammer 40k, but outside Warhammer actually as well, looking at other games. Peachy was raving about Frostgrave or something like that, other game systems, etc. I've been very, 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 very nervous with content about doing it. The response to yesterday's Warcry stream was phenomenal. The response to the Heresy stream was phenomenal. The response to doing all this additional content has been phenomenal. So thank you, because you lot, you as a chat, as a community, as an audience, has given us the confidence to go, let's try something else. Let's buy some Warcry warbands. Let's get some Blood Bowl teams painted up. Let's do other game systems. Joe's looking at what little games, what little skirmish games we can play in place of Liam and Joe shows, rather than just sit there hobbying or sitting in the chairs. Can we bring in Blood Bowl and Kill Team and Warcry, and can we play them in an hour and a half on a lunchtime stream as more interesting and fun content? And I think we probably can, and I'm here for it. So there you go. That's the topic. Thoughts, chat. Go. You yawning your head off over there. Am I boring you?
Yes.
Brilliant. No follow up there. Just yes, I'm boring you. Okay,
No,
thanks, babe.
follow-up.
Thanks. Anyway, cheers, chat. Thank you very much. I'm new to one, but I do want to play more skirmish games. I think skirmish games actually starting to really sing to me for being able to really spend time on individual models and create narratives and stories and stuff like that. So I'm super into that. I'm really excited for it. But yeah. Lucy's all sleepy and tired because before stream I did feed you a Domino's pizza.
Yeah.
Wednesdays is my turn to cook, and I fucking hate cooking, and I was knackered after yesterday. So I feel like when I have a guest like Peachy come to the studio, I'm always more tired the next day because I want to make sure he has a good day as well, and that he thinks it's worth it. I absolutely don't want to think that I'm pulling him down here just to use him as an advertising piece for our channel. I want to pull him down here because I want him to enjoy himself and have fun. And I actually think if you watched the stream yesterday, if you watched last night's stream, if you haven't watched last night's stream last night, very rarely would I tell you to go back and watch a game stream because they're 3 hours. If you haven't watched last night's stream last night, I legitimately think for us it was peak content.
Do you know what made me laugh about Peachy?
Right.
He was packing up while he was still on air.
Yeah. We had a 3 hour drive back. We allowed it.
I was watching it happen. Like, has anyone, chat, have you ever had people around your house and they're kind of getting ready to go while they're still at the table having dinner and you're talking to them and half your brain is going, are they fucking packing up as we're chatting? And then half of your brain is being rational and going, well, you know,
I mean, he did apologise. Oh, sorry, I'm just packing up on stream. I was like, you've got a 3 hour drive, mate. You crack on. Because we finished the game at like just before 10 o'clock, but then Joe started talking. I'm like, he's going to keep you here for another half an hour, Peachy. Feel free to pack up, right? Absolutely. Stick Monkey, thank you so much for 10 gifted, by the way. Cooney, thank you so much for 5 more gifted. Are you still on holiday? Are you enjoying your holiday, sir? I hope you're still enjoying your holiday, you wonderful human being. Thank you so much. We're on 37 of the finest gifted members. But yeah, I very rarely would say go back and watch a stream because I know they're 3.5 hours and I know they can be quite a lot, like hard to watch. Last night was peak content. And it was one of my favourite streams we've done for a long time. And not just because it was peachy, but because the game was smaller and there was less to do, we were able to spend more time telling shit stories and having a laugh and engaging with chat. So nothing felt rushed.
Yeah.
Nothing felt rushed. And I was like, this is incredible. And if we can do more evenings of things like Warcry and Blood Bowl and Kill Team that are small skirmish size so we can engage with you people more, I'm all about that. I think that was fucking great. And I think last night I laughed loads. Peachy laughed loads. Joe laughed loads. It was fucking absolute peak. I was so happy with last night's stream. But I come home and because I'm so worried about him having a good time and enjoying himself and being calm and relaxed and comfortable, etc. And is it too hot? Is it too cold? Have you had enough tea? Have you got biscuits? Have you like I get so I want to be a good host, right?
Lunchtime game of 0200 hours. Yes, please.
Thanks, Stick Monkey, for the tea. So because I want to be a good host, I come home and I was absolutely fucking knackered today, right? So we ordered Domino's. We looked at the
How does Luce plan to contribute to the Kidnap Peachy and Family Fund? Hoping to see some Blood Bowl soon.
I'll need to research Peachy.
Could you not attract him with your baking wares?
Well, you see, because he has.
They need to bring back more lore for each unit like they did in older codexes. Those are the bits that make people go, that unit is cool. Now there's just a picture of the model and the stats.
I agree, Pritters. 100%. Thanks for the 10, dude. I 100% agree with you.
Because Peachy already has a lovely lady wife.
He does, yes.
I can't housewife him.
I'm unaware if she bakes. The donuts he bought us were in a packet, so I don't know if she bakes.
No, I shall never step on the toes of an already lovely lady wife. I shan't. Not doing it. So I'd need to research Peachy and actually do the due diligence of.
Yeah. Well,
guest.
so when I have mentioned numerous times how we would like to kidnap him and keep him down here on the south coast, and I said to him, "Why don't you leave your family down? The weather's nicer, the area's nicer." And then last night, what he said was, before he went on the stream, he said, "Well, I mean, I can't anytime soon because my dad, you know, he's got a few years left." So Joe offered.
Can we make Peachy the first victim of nerdnap?
I mean, maybe Joe offered to knock his dad off, right? And then Peachy, this is before the stream, and then Peachy's like, "Well, then there's my mum," and Joe's like, "All right, I'll do both."
Aww.
So Joe's essentially offered to assassinate Peachy's family.
I built a cavalry guard army because it's cool and took a guard army of 7 models to a GT with the expectation of not winning a game. It was the most fun I've had at a 40k event.
I feel like this list, Capusa, thank you so much for the 10. I feel like this list is going to test me this weekend because I have to play Eldar.
My family goodbyes or Midwestern goodbyes take no joke. 30 minutes to an hour.
Thanks, Evan, for the 5. Yeah, my Eldar list is going to be actually testing me to play Eldar, right? Because it's fast and mobile and agile, but crumbles like a fucking soggy paper bag. So I feel like I'm actually going to have a lot of fun, and I feel like it's not going to be easy to win, but I'm not going to be able to just point a unit at something and do something and something dies, right? I think I'm going to have more fun despite the fact that I'm expecting to lose all the games. Joe offered to knock his dad off and nosh his dad off. No, so he offered to knock his dad off and his mum, and then Peach was like, well, then I've got no ties. So I was like, well, you can use the inheritance to buy a house down here, right? And then he said, well, what about my missus and child? Well, I was obviously bringing them with you. He's like, oh, we can keep them. I was like, look, Miss Peach answers YouTube comments. That's useful for the business. And Little Peach, he plays games, which my kids don't. And he was handing out badges and stickers. He's also useful.
Right.
Business useful. And he was like, you've got this all worked out. I was like, you can have that part of the studio. We'll build out a Peach den. I'll put a door in.
I saw the stream today and will rewatch it for sure. I voted Warcry in the poll but was actually a mix of all. Golden. Please repeat regularly.
Our poll is best part yesterday. Peachy returning, Joe returning, Warcry or Sour Sweet.
Oh, they're sweet.
I may have overeaten in Greece. I can't fit into t-shirts I brought with me, and if I look down, I can't see my mini Warhammer. I think I'll need to join a gym on my return. Have a good stream, Chan.
I can't see my mini Warhammer is the greatest line we've had in the super chat for a while, Keeney. Thanks so much for the 10, dude. I'm glad you're enjoying Greece. Not the film, your holiday.
Great film, though.
Yeah. RTRT, thank you for becoming a member. You're absolute legend. Up to 38.
Joe also offered to fist people too.
He did, yeah. He's offered that a few times. Yeah. How kind of Joe offering to go murder for hire from the channel. Yeah, that's exactly what he promised to do. Anyway, to get to my point, thank you for all the super chats. You people are amazing. To get to my point, after yesterday, I was knackered. We entertained Peachy. I think we put on 2 really good shows. I also had a wild anxiety headache, which happens when things don't go to plan. So he was supposed to be with us between 12:30 and 1 o'clock, and because of traffic delays, etc., he actually didn't end up arriving at the studio until literally 5 minutes before we went live. So about 20 to 3. Now normally we finish the stream at 3 o'clock. Our stream window is 1:30 till 3 in the afternoon on Tuesdays. And so my anxiety headache at that point is throbbing because I'm like, we're going to go live. No one's going to be there because we're late because they'll be like, we've only got 10 minutes, Liam, and we're gone. So I was like, no one will actually bother watching now because we're too late to the stream, we're too late to the show, etc. So what's the point? Like, headache starts pounding, get nervous, and then thankfully it was a great show and I kind of calmed down and it's fine. But then I was knackered today. I woke up tired and I was like, I can't bother to make any food. I'm terrible. Even if I'm putting a pie and chips in and I don't like it in case I fuck it up and then everyone's food's ruined. So I said to Lisa, this is where I'm leading on to the rant, by the way.
Okay.
So should we order in? So I went and asked the kids what they want, and the kids always pick the same fucking thing. I don't know why I ask. They picked Domino's. I was like, okay, fine, we'll pick Domino's, right? Do you know what's starting to really fuck me off in this country? Now, if you're American, you're going to think that this is a nothing whinge, okay? You're going to think this is a nothing whinge. What's he on about? It's not the same over here. It's starting to piss me off everywhere.
Tips.
Tips!
Yeah.
If I'm on the Domino's app ordering my pizza and paying for delivery, why am I tipping my driver?
The best.
His job, he's paid minimum wage at the very least in this country. He's literally paid to drive to my door and drop pizza off. What am I tipping him for? What's he done?
The best one was when I ordered McDonald's. For some reason, the boys were upset, so I ordered them a McDonald's. There was a service charge which you can opt out of. So I thought, opting out of that, you're just doing your job of putting food in a bag and then giving it to a driver. And then there was something else cleverly named. It was essentially a tip. I'm opting out of that because McDonald's used to be quite a competitive price. Now it's slowly bumped up in price. And then I got strong-armed into some kind of tip anyway with another clever name. And when you click on the information button, it said, this is to ensure that your order is correct. Is that not the basis of your job to begin with?
You're doing your fucking job, is what you're telling me. It's like tips.
Yeah.
Tips at restaurants. I can tip people at restaurants. I'm okay with tipping people at restaurants, depending on the level of service I receive. What I don't like is when they hand you the payment machine, and then they hand it to you, and it's like add gratuity ? Can I stand over your shoulder? I'm like, fuck off. You're not seeing whether I'm putting a tip into or not.
I instantly don't tip if I get a pen pointed at a QR code on the table, like, congratulations, you just lost your tip.
But like at a restaurant, like especially with the kids who can be a bit fussy and stuff like that, people can go above and beyond to help us, right? And they can do things that aren't necessarily required to help us out, especially because of the way the kids are sometimes. But Domino's delivery tip. It's like Deliveroo. If you ever order on Just Eat or Deliveroo as well, tip your driver. No. He's being paid to drive. It's his fucking job. What am I tipping him for? Do you know the other thing that gets me about this? It actually gets worse. Actually, tips aren't the one that fucks me off the most. Tips do piss me off. They really fucking wind me up at the moment because everyone wants a tip all the time. Now, in America, I know there's places in the US where they get paid a terribly low wage. And I was saying to someone yesterday, where you can then order a meal in America and pay the tip of 10%, and it will be cheaper than just ordering the meal here in the UK. So you spend less money overall, but they get paid terribly. Right, you could argue that the wage structure should be better, so people should be able to live off of their wages. That's a cost of living crisis we can talk about across the fucking globe at the moment, quite frankly. But tipping here it's in your face all the time. Tip, tip, tip. And because we're polite British people, we often feel too bad. We feel quite bad if we don't tip. But actually, the thing that gets me worse at the moment, or things starting to wind me up even more, and this happened on Sunday when I was driving up to Derby and back at the service station. It's not just tips now. Now you get it on fucking self-service checkouts and chip and pin machines. Donate, round up for charity.
Oh, do you know the big supermarkets and retail shops, they donate to charity anyway?
Do you know what the round up to charity does?
It rounds up the nearest pound.
Do you know what it actually does? It lowers the business's tax bill. It's not about being good. It's about another way of finding tax exemption.
God! I hate it.
It all started with H participation trophies.
Oh, don't. tips and fucking ran up for charity. Like, now you can't go into like into a service station in the UK in the little shop part, like the WH Smith shop part, and just self-service scan your food and go without going, do you want to round up?
I think there should be another option on tonight's poll of all of the above. It was great. I thought Joe was gonna die eating the yellow fever.
The Thanes in WhatsApp made some stickers of Joe's face and of Peachy's face, and they are an absolute picture, honestly. I just hate when they ask for the tip on the machine at places where they don't help you beyond handing you the product. Exactly! This is my point. This is my point with Domino's. And I got asked if I wanted to add a tip before I finished the order. I then, when I'm on the app tracking where on the little pizza wheel, like, driver's on his way. Tip your driver now. Why would I tip him before he's got here?
As ex-Domino's, houses who were repeat tippers to drivers definitely got looked after and prioritised better because of it.
That's shocking. It's absolutely shocking. That's fucking disgusting, in fact. This is the other thing that gets me as well, right? This is the big thing I was just talking about. In the app where it's like, tip your driver, like he hasn't arrived. He hasn't brought my food yet. What if he gets it? Am I gonna tip him and he tells me I've got the order wrong? I can't take it back at that point.
Yeah.
Like if they're like, tip your driver, and if he tells it the wrong order, we'll actually give you double your tip back. All right, I'll take that gamble.
There was a couple of occasions with Domino's that things were missing off my order, and it'd be things like the big pot that used to be 99p. It's now almost double. And I'd think it's fine, I've got some barbecue sauce in the fridge, and James is really understanding, it's fine. And then the next time something else got missed off. So I called up and I said, you've missed stuff off my order. And then he said, well, do you want just a refund? And I was like, no, we actually quite like the item, because Ben's not so understanding, he's getting there. But it was something like, I don't know, garlic bread, like the cheesy garlic bread or something. He'd been looking forward to it. So I said, no, I'm gonna need the item, I'm afraid. And he sighed at me and said, do you not just want the refund?
No.
Like, no.
No, otherwise I wouldn't have ordered it in the first place.
Yeah.
I just kept my fucking money, you moron.
And then he tried to talk me out of it. Well, you know, you might have already eaten, and I don't know when my driver can come back round. Sorry, that's a you problem.
Yeah.
That's not.
Just started Eldar. Morgan Ra.
Yes.
15 Reapers.
Yes.
10 Scorpions.
Yes.
My local Chinese started charging £1 for the bag on Just Eat. I found a new Chinese.
Yeah. How are you supposed to get the food through the door without the use of a bag?
Honestly,
I hate being strong-armed like that.
It does my head in.
Off,
And it's in your face all the time, like an expectation. I saw something on social media recently with a restaurant that had the tip thing on their chip and pin machine, and what they'd done is they'd put a little sticker over the bit that says you can press no. So they were like, hide that, and they put an arrow there for the tip. Like, there you go. Like, no, we're not going to give you an option not to tip.
Oh my god!
It's horrendous, isn't it?
All that does is it keeps people eating at home.
No.
Then, because I would definitely, woman of principle, just like Peachy, man of principle, it would be, as tired as I am, I would rather cook than be put in a bad mood because I wanted to treat the boys to food.
Yeah.
And then being strong-armed into a tip when waitressing services over here are not good.
Yeah, it annoys me that they go, here's an option for home delivery. And we pay delivery drivers. It's not just Domino's, to be fair, right? But here's an option for home delivery, and we're going to give you that option, and then we're going to ask you for a tip to pay our drivers extra for doing the thing that we offered you in the first place. So it's not like you phoned up, right? You've gone, I really want some Chinese food, but you don't do delivery. Is there any way you can bring it to me? And they go, we'll find a way of getting it to you. Like, you deserve a tip. You've gone above and beyond here with something that you haven't obviously previously offered.
We've had a great Chinese. We've used the same one over the years, and a couple of years ago, for some reason, my default setting of delivery had changed to pick up order. So I clicked buy, and then when you get your email through, you glance over it to see what time slot you've got, and I didn't really have a time slot. I got a pick up around. So I had to call them and go, really sorry, for some reason, I've clicked pick up. And they were great. They were like, no, it's fine. We'll just give your order because it's fresh and it's ready to go now. So we'll just partition that out. We'll do it again and we'll deliver it as soon as we can. Half an hour later, it was at the house. For me, that's the tip of I completely messed up.
Yeah.
Your system.
You've gone above and beyond.
Yeah.
Had a terrible meal the other day, but the waitress was fantastic. So when it came to pay, I gave her just the tip.
What a guy.
I get that joke. Christopher Sanford, Police Station Gloucester. Thank you for the 5, dude. We've got ourselves stuck on 38 gifted members, chat. Can we get to 50? Go. 240 people watching as well. What the fuck? What's going on? Yeah, tips annoy me. The best Chinese never deliver. Ours do, actually. I don't like that when I go to a restaurant here in the States with the family, even if the food is terrible, we have to tip around 20%.
20%.
So I've been in the US a few times now. I remember my first trip out there, it was drilled into me that you tip in the US. There's a few places I went to where we thought we would be repeat customers whilst we were staying in this location for around 3 months. And so we tipped quite heavily. And the service we received afterwards was absolutely phenomenal. Like incredibly good, because we tipped so heavily early on. And so I kept tipping, they kept really looking after us. And it wasn't breaking the bank, and it wasn't like I was chucking stupid money at these individuals, but the service was definitely incredible. And I came away like, okay, I get it. Like there was one guy we were told, go to this bar, see this guy, he looks like this, make this joke, because we were talking to some people on the camp we were staying at, the barracks we were staying at. We did all those things, made the joke, dropped a big tip in his tip jar, and then for the rest of the 3 months, whenever he walked in that bar and he was working, he saw us at the back of the queue, he'd sort us out immediately, which was incredible service. But I came away and I thought, I kind of loved that. But at the same time, like, we then tipped him actually at that point because someone told us to, before we knew if he was any good. And he was good, to be fair, he was incredible. So much so that he would remember your drinks orders over the 3 months. Like, he was very, very good. But here, it's the fact that I've done the bare minimum. I've done literally my job description. You're going to tip me? Well, no, because it's in your job description.
Yeah.
That's what you get paid for. You get paid to do your job description. That's your employer's responsibility. And if your employer's not paying you enough to do your job description, get a different job somewhere else. Ultimately, if you're not happy with the money you're taking and you think you're not making enough money, go and get a job. But then I have another issue with tips, right? My other big issue with tips, and this is where this goes against everything I talk about, because I don't like using cash. I fucking hate cash. I'm a cashless person. I don't even carry a wallet anymore. I've got all my cards on my phone. I just use this now, which a lot of people go, oh God, that's I prefer it. It's easier for me. What the other thing I hate about tips, however, now is that because everything's on a card machine, where does that money go? Not in the waitress's pocket.
No. Also, if we're going on to restaurants about tipping, how often does the kitchen actually see the tip?
Who actually literally can make or break the whole experience.
Yeah.
My food was incredible. I want the chef to make some extra money here because they've done a good job.
What gets me is the mandatory 18% gratuity on a group of 6 or more at a lot of places, at least in North America.
There is. I don't know what the size is. There is a table size here where they add a mandatory tip and you can't get rid of it. But that's like, I've had this argument with someone before. There was a mandatory gratuity. I can't remember what the size was, but there was a mandatory gratuity, and I said, why is it mandatory? A table of over 8 people or something? I was like, right. So, well, because it's over 8 people, it's a difficult table. You let us book.
Yeah,
when you let us book, you also didn't say, just to make you aware, there's going to be a service charge because they're running a big table. Like, all right, I'll book somewhere else then.
My argument would be, then I'm letting you know now so you can rotor on a second waitress for the
exactly, yeah. You're letting me book.
Yeah.
So it's not my responsibility then to pay your staff extra because they got a harder night.
Yeah.
You're letting me book.
I went, where was I? Might have been Lancaster. I think it was my travel day home. Had all my bags with me. I say bags. I think I just had my rucksack, but maybe some things I bought. And I thought I'll have a full English because it was train strike season. God knows how long I'm going to be on that train. At least I've eaten something. Went up to the bar, so didn't have table service. Had to go and order at the bar, so straight away, you've lost your tip. And then I looked in the kitchen and I could only see one chef/cook person doing the breakfast run for what looked like a normal service, but maybe 80% full restaurant room. And I sort of looked through the little hatch and I said to the barmaid, how many chefs you got on today? She was like, oh, just the one, just for breakfast. And I said, okay, can I put a drink behind the bar for him? And she pointed to the tip jar and she was like, this is a team tip jar. And I thought, well, 3 of your waitresses are catching up on Coronation Street in the corner. He's running around like a blue-ass fly, and you've just pointed to a team tip jar.
I don't like that.
There's no teamwork going on here.
I don't like that. I one of the reasons why I hate the card, I should carry more cash for this reason alone, is because I will go, there's your tip, that's for you. You've served us.
Yeah.
But then I also want them to earn the tip. I want them to go above and beyond. I want them to do something special.
You should never assume a tip.
I don't want them to go, hey, I've dished you up your food and I've taken your order and I've cleared your table. Like, cool, you've done your job.
Yeah.
But anyway, when we open Hobby House, for every online order, you can offer a 10% tip that will go directly to Joe. Honest. Thank you so much, Mordy Hammer and Adrian, for the one gifted each, you beautiful humans. Up to 40 right now. However, you fucked yourselves, right? Because you didn't gift membership so early, Bike Channel's now up to 92 subscribers, so you need to get to 93 gifted members. Right? Granda taught me to always carry 100 around just in case you ever need it.
100?
100 what?
My
Yen?
God.
Jesus Christ, where are you eating?
100 pennies or 100
yeah.
pounds?
100 halfpennies. It's actually 50p. Team tip jars annoy me, they do, yeah. Which is why you buy a drink, then ask to see the chef and just hand it to them, hand it to them with a smile. Yeah, I much prefer that. Much prefer that. But it's do you not think it's weird? I don't really know any other industry outside the food industry at the moment where you're asked frequently to tip or donate extra money. It's really bizarre. Like I don't take a delivery from Amazon and then go tip for the driver. No.
You know, for me, the waitress that earns or waiter that earns their tip is the one how they talk to kids at the table.
How they treat our kids is important. Yes.
Do they crouch down so they're at the level, and do they talk about, because most of the time restaurants have things they can colour in, and that's great. But when you have an 11-year-old and they say, oh, you don't want the colouring in, and James is like, no, thank you, and he's being really polite because we don't have iPads at the table. If they can engage with him, then that's a game changer of interesting. So you've not just thrown colouring in at him because he's 11, he's not interested. And you've actually been able to talk to him about anything. Can be anything. But you've actually talked to him. And when it's come to take the order, they've not looked at mum or dad to order for the kid. They've looked at the kid and said, what would you like for dinner?
Yeah. Well,
it does make a difference.
We're also trying to get the kids to do things like place their own orders, right?
Yeah.
We're trying, especially with the eldest. And so he'll get nervous and he'll mumble a bit because he's nervous. But often, like, I dropped a thing. Often part of the problem is that they'll stand over and obviously they're stood at a table and he's sat there as a little 11-year-old like, and I'm like, tell the lady what you want. Cheeseburger.
We came up with a great restaurant concept.
Oh, Neuro Spicy.
Yeah, we're going to call it Neuro Spicy, and there are to be no meal checks. That
No
is
meal checks.
the most annoying thing. You've just got your nice steak, you've cut into it, and then this waitress pops up. Everything all right?
Yeah, you literally cut the first part
I don't know.
Fuck off. Honestly.
I would love to just carry around some kind of like neon sign that
Yeah.
says ASD table, leave us the fuck
Yeah,
alone.
so we're gonna make individual booths, right? Every single table's gonna be its individual booth, right?
Yeah.
And each one will have two switches. One where you can control the intensity of the light,
Yeah.
and one where you can control the intensity of the music in your booth.
And you can control the music.
So you can go down if it's too noisy for your kids, or you can go up
Yeah.
if you want it a little bit louder.
So if
right?
you want to listen to the soundtrack of Bluey on a loop,
Yeah.
you can.
Yeah. All the menu items will be written in fucking English so that you understand what it is. We're not going to have a traditional blend of oak tastes. Fuck off. What does it taste like? Bacon and cheese. Good. Right, happy. Captain Rex says, I used to be a chef. I never received a tip the whole time.
You're joking.
I'll give you my tip.
The amount of hours I spent in pot wash, I don't know how I didn't get trench foot. It's ridiculous. But the waitresses would be counting up their tips.
You don't know any industry that asks for money?
Tips, I said. Nobody. Tips. That's a very smart gift.
I've probably, the longest shift I've ever done in pot wash is probably about 10 hours because we had a deep clean sprung on us, which was fun. But the waitresses would be counting up their tips and you'd see all like the grill line workers, they'd start smoking just for a reason to leave the grill line.
Yeah, I get it.
And there'd be no tips.
Anyway, team. That was a bit of a... I got annoyed at the fucking Domino's app asking me to tip my driver before he's even turned up with my food. And I'm like, how have we got to this place where people are asking for the tip before they've even provided the fucking service?
Yeah.
It happens when we are... So I use Just Eat here and I use Uber Eats at work. And that way I make sure it gets delivered to the right place. Because there's a couple of times I almost ordered to work from here and vice versa. Like you almost got a knock on the door for food. Like, I didn't order this.
Do you know what I would have done? I would have gone, right, let me give you the address this was supposed to
Yeah,
go
well,
to.
they're like, no, we're not going back over there. Anyway. But Uber Eats is horrendous for it. Like order you as you're putting your order in, right? There's a line that comes up. How much tip for your driver? Nothing. I've not got my fucking food yet. Nothing.
They used to, before that got added onto the app, there used to be like a lingering moment at the door.
Yeah, well, There was also,
Really weird.
someone told me, I can't remember who it was, but someone told me that they ordered some food, and when they got given their food, it wasn't all there. And when they went out to challenge the guy, he was sat in the car eating the food. Yeah. I heard that recently. I don't know who told me that. Someone told me that story recently. Yeah. Sat there eating the fucking cheeseburger in the car laughing. I'm like,
Wow.
I'd have fucking throat punched him. Anyway, back onto the topic. So I had a little rant. It just really annoyed me. It's one of those things I wanted to bring up. It really pissed me off. So I want to talk about it. I will. Anybody who goes above and beyond and offers me exceptional service, I will happily tip them, and I want to try and make sure that they get the tip as well, rather than it goes into some big fucking corporate bank account. They might see some of it later, perhaps after it's been taxed, etc. Anywho, talking about the topic, right? What I want to hear from you guys tonight: stick it on big, colourful postcards if you feel like it. You can start the postcard with tip if you'd like to. If it makes you feel better, just to try and wind me up, right? However, it was Paddy. Yeah, I think it was Paddy who told me. If you want to stick it on big, colourful postcards, tell us the games that you would like to see on the channel. Now, I'm going to add a caveat. By asking you to tell us via a super chat what games you'd like to see, we are by no means entering into a legally binding contract whereby we're going to promise to show those games off. For example, I have ideas to do Warcry, Kill Team, Middle-earth, Blood Bowl, Horror's Heresy. I also have ideas of doing Legion, Shatterpoint, Bolt Action, etc. Right? That said, I don't currently really have priority. So at the moment, over the next 2 or 3 months, Joe and I are going to mostly still be working on getting AOS teams back together or up together. And when I say Joe and I mean mostly Joe. I've got some Warcry warbands turning up. I'd like to work on those. That aside, I would like to know what you guys are really into, and I'd like to see this on postcards. You could also gift if you want, and then say, I gifted, here's my idea, and I'll read that one out as well. I might be able to make that work. Maybe. Possibly.
Do you know what? Is that Kev Demogorgon?
Yes.
My mum tips the dustbin men every Christmas. Actually, our dustbin men are amazing. If they ever bump into Emmy Dog, because they come round early, they give her massive fusses. It's never too much trouble to quickly fuss the dog.
Our dustbin men deserve a significantly bigger tip than my shit fucking Domino's driver.
Worked bar and got a £100 tip from an elder pikey.
Did you check it was real? Thanks for the TDs.
Our bin men, they don't have wheelie bins. They've still got to pick up bin bags that could weigh anything.
Yeah, well, not only that, what happens on our streets quite frequently around here?
The foxes get
to the bags and they get torn open because we live in quite a rural area, really.
Yeah.
We have a lot of wildlife nearby. The foxes and the cat get on rampages, rip the bin bags open. The bin men turn up in the morning with rubbish strewn across the road. And do you know what they do? They pick it all up. All of it. They don't need to do that. That's not their job. And they do. They pick it all up. All of it strewn across the fucking... Because we don't have wheelie bins down here because all the old people in the New Forest Council area are like, don't want wheelie bins, don't want big plastic monstrosities. I'm like, give us a wheelie bin. I'd rather have a wheelie bin. Yeah. Anyway, and they pick it all up. They put it all in the fucking... All in the bin. All in the lorry. In the truck, sorry. And they just crack on. They deserve a bigger tip every single time than any of the fucking delivery drivers we get around here.
They're always so cheerful at 6 a.m. I don't know anyone else that starts
You
work.
didn't you? Was it during COVID where you made them hot chocolate and stuff?
Yeah,
was that
we made
what it was?
them. For some reason, we made sheep cupcakes. I don't know why they were sheep cupcakes.
Was
but
it supposed to be a snowman and it didn't really make the shape?
No, it was. We were doing some kind of cultural thing, and the culture we were looking at something to do with sheep. So I bought a bunch of marshmallows and googly eyes. So I made sheep cupcakes, and we had a ton left over. And I said, you know who'd really like these? I'm sure the bin men. The sheep could be any farm animal, and they'd love it.
Hide the pickle. Best game.
Mr. Nadez, are you at the Hellstorm event this weekend? All of your cheeky moderating, I owe you a beer, sir. Are you at the event this weekend?
So I should buy. We've actually got a cool box that we don't use anymore. I might maybe at Christmas.
It's not that cool. It's all right.
Maybe put some bottles of water in there for the summer, and then hot chocolate. But one of our bin men, I remember his name, and he said the thing with homemade food, because it was during the COVID times, they've been told not to accept any homemade food. It has to be packaged.
Cornet Ed, thank you so much for 5 gifted memberships. You're a legend. Brian, thank you for becoming a member all by yourself. You're also a legend. You unbelievably sexual human beings.
We always give our milkman a Christmas present.
Aww. I'm going to give our milk lady a Christmas present. That'll be a year that I've been having her milk. She runs a micro dairy, and the cows stay with their babies.
Would love to see you playing Underworlds. It's so flavorful and the best single model Sigmar models in the range. Look if you don't believe me.
Underworlds, I mean, anything at Age of Sigmar at the moment is appealing to me anyway. Underworlds is something we could look at, definitely.
It's months out till release, but after the Dave interview of Star one day could be interesting.
That'd be interesting, yeah. Absolutely. This is the other. I know it sounds cheap, by the way, chat. Right? I know it sounds super cheeky asking for it in super chat form, and it is. But you know what happens when it comes in super chat form? There's a next section in Discord, not a section. There's a section in YouTube in the studio area where I can go and look at every single previous super chat. And so what I can do is I can go and filter by date, find all the super chats from today, and see everybody's suggestions. So it is cheeky, but there is also a purpose behind it because it saves it all for me. Basically, I get to go and find it all later. So there is an overwhelming sense of we definitely want to see this particular game system. Then it's a no-brainer. If it's kind of scattered across, then cool. We can just keep kind of making our own approach, basically. So anyway, thank you so much, Cornet Ed, for the 5 gifted. We're up to 47. We're nearly halfway there. Whoa, whoa, whoa! Nearly halfway there.
Halfway up the stairs.
This was on a prayer, yeah.
It's a done prayer.
Yeah. Thank you so much, you wonderful human beings. And there is still grey names in chat as well, so there's definitely people to be sniped. And chat, we have 230 people watching and 139 likes, which means 91 of you fuckers, no, that's a lie, isn't it? 81 of you fuckers has not hit the like button, which is free. That's free, for Christ's sake, right? How come there's so many people tonight? Is everyone finally sick of their kids at home? Have the numbers are going to go back up now? Everyone's sick of school holidays. Does the school go back soon? Next week, week after?
Week. No. Yeah.
How many of you can't wait to get your kids back to school in the UK? Do you get the same like break in the US and Canada? In Europe?
Blood Bowl, Bolt Action and Cluedo, please.
Cluedo! Thanks for the 10.
Cluedo could be interesting.
Bolt Action, Blood Bowl. I think there's a lot of things that me, Paddy, Joe, Brom could all play together that would be stupid. Thank you so much, dude. You're a legend. Thank you so much. Hardball, thank you for 5 gifted memberships. Historical
skirmish game, Baron's War. Do it.
Baron's War, never heard of it. Thank you for that, because you super chatted it, so it must be insane. Thank you so much, Vortex Games, for the 5 gifted. Exclamation mark Vortex if you're in Canada. For sweet, sweet Warhammer details, Warhammer discounts, and it gives us a 5% kickback. There you go. Why is there so many people in chat? See if Peachy was here. Thanks. Brilliant. Kids went back to school today in Ireland. Oh, that sounds nice.
Oh.
Thank you so much for this. We have now gone over halfway, chat. Just 48 to go.
I think in Scotland they went back a while ago. August. Start of August.
Stevens just said it in Scotland. Kids are already back in school.
Yeah.
6 weeks, in my opinion, and I am aware that I'm saying this as a person who has home-educated children, right? In my opinion, the 6 weeks holiday should just go away.
I think it was a wartime thing anyway, because all the farmhands, all the strong, fit men had been drafted. So
yeah, I don't
time
know.
Off school for farm work.
I don't know if it was a wartime thing, but I've also heard that's the case.
Yeah.
I like games that allow for lovely-looking boards, so for me I would like to see Bolt Action, Necromunda, Kill Team, and Bushido.
What was that last one? Bushido? What's that? Never heard of that, guys. I've heard of the other ones.
I'd like to see an Infinity demo.
I've heard great things about Infinity. Great things about Infinity. I've never played it. Infinity would definitely be stepping outside of the comfort zone because it's not GW.
Bolt Action and Kill Team would both be great.
Yeah, I think Kill Team is a definite. Bolt Action is a maybe. Kill Team's a definite. Bolt Action is a maybe, Brian. All right?
Gonna try a couple skirmish games here soon. Test of Honor, Samurai Skirmish, and Blackout, spelled Blackout, near future sci-fi skirmish.
I'm into it. Let us know how they get on. I think I've always been put off by all these independent games because of the model ranges, because the non-model ranges just aren't as good. Infinity has sexy metals, but I also don't like working with metal models personally. So I think I'm always put off by the model range, but Peachy yesterday was like, all right, you can use any models. You can do whatever you want.
Okay.
Well, that's a fair point.
It started before the war loose, but 6 weeks is too long, and yet they only get 2 weeks at Christmas.
Well, not in our house. We don't do the 6 weeks holiday. We have normal term times all through the year, and they get 4 weeks off of Christmas.
Star Wars Lego Legion,
yes!
Shatterpoint.
Yes, Demogorgon. That's what I think we're going to do that. Chatting to Peachy, I think we're going to do that. Star Wars Lego Legion is a thing that I want to see.
Cough kill team cough.
We said yes to Kill Team Ash. So Peachy reckons he's got enough Star Wars minifigures in Lego that we could play a tabletop war game called Star Wars Legion, but instead of using the Star Wars models, we use Lego. And I'm like, I'm here for that.
I'd like to see you bring old games back, Inquisitor or Mordheim. Really heavy narrative over something like a 4-week period. Vlog-style content as you prep boards, story and mins as you get ready.
If I say to Joe, Davey, that we'll bring in Mordheim.
Isn't liking before the end like typing before service? See No Evil Monkey, Skirmish shorter games, GW or other.
Get out, Adrian.
Are you going to use, for your Star Wars game, are you going to use the Lego floor?
I want to do everything Lego.
Use the Lego floor.
So I spoke to Peach about it. He's like, so I need to make Lego terrain. I was like, we do everything Lego.
With like Lego plants.
And I think that's the start of things. Lego 40k.
Are you going to like my Brexit?
We might just turn into a full Warhammer Lego channel. Everything's Warhammer but Lego.
Do it.
Yeah. But yeah, if I say Mordheim to Joe, honestly, he's going to get the biggest erection he's ever had. It'll be like a whole 3.5 inches.
Mordheim.
Just like that, Caldorf, right? Thanks for the 5, dude. Thank you for all the donates, people. Well, you're amazing. Don't forget to gift as well, though, team. Exclamation mark.
Tip Warhammer Risk Bombardment.
Warhammer Risk. That was in the shop.
I was.
We could buy that, like, next week.
Good.
Caldorf, thank you for the one gifted.
You could buy it.
Warcry, for obvious reasons. I'd also be down for Necromunda if you really lean into the narrative/RPG-esque elements. Also, Frostgrave with Peachy.
I think... Thank you so much, Alec Man, for the fight. I think anything that... Oh, hang on.
Mordheim or Battlefleet Gothic.
Thank you so much, Harborn, for the 2. I think anything that leans heavily into in-depth RPG-esque elements, I need to work out a way of making that interesting and fun on camera. That's my biggest concern with anything that's heavy on the RPG elements, right? Is I need to make sure it comes across well in content. So if we're going to track narrative, I want people to be able to track narrative. I want people to be able to understand what's going on. I'm really keen on that. Like, they need to know what's going on and know what's happening and not get bored with a half-an-hour description as to every upgrade every unit's got. Right? So, we'll see. I'm up for it, but we'll see. Blackout, you can get. Has it not read that one out yet? Where is he? We're on more time. Jesus, there's been a lot of super chats coming through. You people are incredible. Look at you lot go. Thank you so much, Caldor, for the one gifted. Up to 53 now. You wonderful human beings. Just 47 to go. No, I don't want the song.
I was yawning.
It doesn't work with a 7. I thought you were taking a deep breath to start, and I was like, no, it's okay, Luce. We don't need the song. We don't need the song. A recap edited into the start of a stream would be a solve there. Yeah, if we can do it again, if we can do it nice, Chris, right? It needs to be nice, quick, to the point, clean, but understandable, but doesn't miss loads of stuff out. I think we can do it. I think we can do it. We just, like, need to be less lazy.
Blackout. You can get the rules for free on the website. Models are pretty epic too.
We'll check it out. You're the second person to mention it, Scotty. Thank you so much for fighting. I think I need, because I like live content so much, I think I just need to get better at the editing stuff.
Also, are you excited for the new Stormcast tonight?
I'm not
Smirking
really,
face.
I think Stormcast are cooler than Space Marines, but I'm not really that bothered for tonight's releases or announcements, to be honest. We'll talk about the Liam and Joe show tomorrow, to be fair. We'll cover it on the Liam and Joe show.
Silver Bayonet with Peach.
Yeah, he's mad for Silver Bayonet, isn't he? So maybe one day. But I think next time I want to do Star Wars Lego Legion. Star Wars Legion Lego. Whichever way you want to say it.
Battle for Middle Earth and the Old World. Gotta try it at least once.
We're absolutely going to put... So Middle-earth is a strong possibility. Not a definite yes, but a strong possibility. Because I'm such a Lord of the Rings nut. I'm sat hoping, waiting, praying they decide to update a bunch of the model ranges for Middle-earth. And if they do that, I'm all in, right? All my chips go into the middle at that point. I'm going for it. Old World is a definite yes. We have a faction painted in the Bretonnians. We have other factions to be worked on at some point. We just got to get Joe the time to paint the High Elves, etc. So Old World is a definite yes. It won't be live. I don't think I don't think Old World will work live. I think Old World will work pre-recorded. I'm happy to be proven wrong. I much prefer creating live content. Live content's my favourite. But I think Old World will be better because the movement phase, I think that's something that needs to be edited down and to be clean. Anything that's big scale editing work, I need to get my editor into the studio at some point in the future. I'm getting this weekend out of the way first, basically. Then I need to get my editor in the studio in the future so I can work out a workflow with our cameras that when I send him the footage makes sense. So he goes, cool, that all makes sense. I now know how I have to edit it. Right?
If BFG is too clunky, check out A Billion Suns.
I think that's one of the things that GW is really missing, right? Is a big spaceship game like Battlefield Gothic. That's what I talked about last night with Fire, or the day before, yesterday with Firestorm Armada. We miss a big spaceship battle game, I think. I think we do. They have just announced a new edition of Middle-earth. Yeah, it's whether they get the model support with it as well, Peter, right? It's all right dropping a new rule book, but if the old models are still the old models, I don't love them. If they bring out new ones, if they bring out like new elves from Rivendell or Lothlorien or whatever, I will fucking blow my load. Facts. Absolute facts. Also, chat, whilst we're on the topic, someone has agreed to watch all of the Lord of the Rings films.
Yep. But I really liked Paddy's idea of doing it in chunks.
We can do it in chunks, but not 40-minute chunks.
Maybe like an hour. Do an hour.
I'm so happy. Extended editions.
Okay.
That's the only ones I've got, so it has to be.
Okay.
Convert in no time.
Conquest last argument of kings. Do it, my son.
Do it, my son. Thanks for the tea, dude. Okay, these are all saved as super chats, so I'll be able to come back to references in the future. But yes, just going to watch Lord of the Rings with me. Be a convert in no time at all. It won't be long before she's like, that Harry Potter was shit. Why don't I watch this from the start? I know, babe. Oh, hang on. Extended edition, extended cut. Yeah, essentially extended edition. Stick Monkey says, guess I'm in the kitchen then. He did promise you a meal.
I can't wait to try his cooking.
Sean, you are more than welcome to come to my house and make us food. Or we can come to yours, actually. That was very assumptive, wasn't it?
Yeah.
You come here and make us food, bitch. We could come to you too. That's also a thing that we can do. But we have children, so we need to plan. We need more planning time. Don't the extended editions come in natural parts like disc 1, disc 2? No, I've got it all on Apple TV, so there's just one straight through, right?
It's not necessarily that
Printers fuck off.
it's the discs that come in different parts. It's just I just can't do, what is it, 3 hours? Is it 3 hours, the first one? Is it more? So I just can't sit that long in something that I'm not already interested in. I'm not. I might grow fond of it.
I
might.
If you watch those films and don't grow fond of it, there's something wrong with you. If you watch all 3 films...
Old retro games like Space Hulk, Space Crusade.
I'm into it. Thank you. If you watch all 3 films and you're not then into it as a convert, I'm taking you to the doctors. Right, doctor, something wrong. Something's not right here.
LOTR Snacks Fund.
Thanks, Robocop. We're going to need it. Thanks, Robocop, for the 5. You're a legend. Start, aren't you supposed to be saving?
What's
Middle-earth strategy battle game.
Oh.
It's Lord of the Rings on the tabletop.
Is this legally binding enough for Mezbk? If not, I might cry. But I would also like to see whatever the team thinks will be fun to play.
Star, I want to bring Middle-earth in. I want to. So, well, for your sake, at $50, we'll call it legally binding, right?
Raid Shadow Legends.
And you can fuck
Eyes.
off. So for that, you know, I'll go as far as to say, to make you feel better, it's legally binding. I just don't know where. The biggest problem with all of this stuff, right, is a lot of this stuff requires models to be painted. Now, I would go as far as to say that Space Hulk and Shatterpoint and Warcry and Kill Team is less stress to get ready for a couple of random one-off games. What I'm looking to do in the short term And when I say short term, I mean next 6 months. What I'm looking to do within the next 6 months, within the next short term, is look at quick wins, like Blood Bowl, like Kill Team, where I can say to Joe, right, you've got 2 weeks to paint 2 Blood Bowl teams. That's all I care about. I don't want you to paint 10 Blood Bowl teams. I don't want enough content so we can continue to do Blood Bowl every single week for the next 12 weeks. Just get 2 done. Because at the moment, what we're finding is we're doing one-off game of Warcry, one-off game of Horus Heresy. It's going down really, really well, right? So I feel like if I can get him to do, hey, here's two Blood Bowl teams, or here's 2 Kill teams, or here's a small-scale Middle-earth strategy battle set we can paint. You've got a couple of weeks. This is your priority now for a couple of weeks. It becomes then a quick win, and we can do a one-off game with the premise that this is not going to be consistent and regular at this stage, right? And then in the future, perhaps we do a Blood Bowl game, and then in 2-3 months afterwards, we might go, we've actually painted another 2 teams, and here's another Blood Bowl game. Okay? I feel like that's what makes sense. Mostly. Anyway, we've had enough super chat ideas now. Now, it's for the last half an hour, it's just all about the gifted members, right? It's all about hitting that target. Remember, we haven't got a stream on Friday. If we hit target tonight, I can just chill on Friday and not be stressy about the fact we're missing a stream. All we got to do is hit target tonight, and that's then the case.
But you're choosing to miss the stream.
To go and hang out with people at Hellstorm who are also from the channel.
Yes, but you're choosing.
I'm choosing to go and support another person who wasn't selling tickets.
Just as it is not up to us in a restaurant to top up the wages of the waitress. It is not up to chat to top up your revenue.
No.
Choosing.
No. It's entirely up to chat to top up my revenue because they're the only people that provide any revenue. I don't have an employer. You two don't pay me for this.
You're choosing.
But it's different, Luce.
So if you're stressed about losing a stream, fine, be stressed, totally get it. Don't need to mention it. It's your logistical planning.
I do mention it. Trust me,
planning.
I've run the channel for 7 years. Trust me, I do need to mention it. I know.
It's your logistical planning.
I can't wait till the day where she's like, "Can we have this thing?" I'm like, "No, can't actually."
I never ask for that thing. I never ask for it.
She does. Begs.
Twister but on the tabletop.
Joe and Eddie.
I thought you meant the film. I thought you were reenacting the film Twister. I was thinking, oh, that's an interesting concept.
Aliens, another glorious day in the core.
Is that a game? Is that a game? I refuse to set foot in Yorkshire, so no. Is it Yorkshire? Sheffield, is that Yorkshire? Is it Sheffield? I don't know where it is. I'm going to put the sat nav on Friday and drive there. And I have Joe and Paddy in the car, so it'll be a great trip. And I'm going to have all the stuff. I'm going to... So, in terms of extra content, so this isn't another game. This isn't us adding a game system, whatever. I'm going to try and be a vloggy person this weekend with a camera.
Oh, okay.
So I feel like 2 things. One, it'll be cool, fun content for chat to see a video put together of me, Joe, and Paddy going up to Hellstorm for a weekend.
You're going to vlog in the car as well?
Well, I've got a car mount somewhere that I'm going to try and put the camera in and all sorts.
Okay.
So not quite Top Gear, but you know, far off. And I think it'd be cool to sort of document the weekend to a point. It's something that I have historically been incredibly bad with. I've got camera gear now specifically for this.
Warcrow by Corvus Belly.
Who? I don't... What? Thank you, Xylate. Warcrow. Okay. It's saved in Super Chat. Thank you very much. So so one thing I think it will be cool to show you people the weekend and the shenanigans of Joe and Paddy. The other thing as well is I think it's quite nice for Mikey because I can document his event and be like, look how good Mikey's event is, which is quite nice for him as well, right? It's like advertising for Mikey.
Okay.
Yeah? No? You don't seem sold.
From experience, when someone has offered to vlog an event, it has come very much about the vlogger and not the event.
Well, obviously it's content from my channel. Of course that's the case. That's the whole pointing vlogging.
No, I'm not attacking you. I'm just saying it's happened before that the end product has really become about the vlogger and not about the event they were covering.
But the whole point of this vlog isn't about the event. It's just it is extra advertising for Mikey's event. Like we are vlogging Mikey's event. Well, we're actually vlogging.
So it is about the event.
So yeah, no, the event's the backdrop for the whole video, isn't it?
Okay.
I'm gonna fucking throw something at you tonight. I'll be honest.
I promise.
Yeah, it'll be heavy and hard.
I'm feeling mischievous tonight. Yeah. Don't you go wasting perfectly good mead, babe.
I won't. I'll drink it first, or I'll lick it off his corpse. One of the two.
A weekend-long stream from Joe's POV. Strap the camera to his head and let him run free.
I have got a spare GoPro.
We've got a head mount.
I have got a spare GoPro, and I strongly considered literally strapping it to Joe's chest and just letting him waddle around all weekend. And if I thought for 1 minute that a GoPro memory card and battery would last a full day, I'd love to just body cam him on go. I'd love to do that, but it won't.
You should do it as a head mount, really. If we're
There's no stream on Friday, chat. When we come back on Monday, Luce might not be here. Just toes sticking out of dirt in the garden.
That would be some job. We don't have any dirt in the garden. It's all flagstone.
Yes, we do. Under the fucking shed.
No, that's all.
It's dirt.
Concreted over.
It's not concreted. It's dirt.
Is it?
Yeah, because I found out when I put the shed up.
You're gonna have to move the shed, which means emptying the shed, which means sorting out the shed.
No. Lift it. Put you under. Put it back down again.
Lift the shed.
Yeah. Quickly amend the stream. Your missus is feeling mischievous. If I thought it was that kind of mischievous, I'd already be gone. There'd be a cloud of smoke here where I was. Colin, don't you worry. Poof, gone. Can you use a Joe Pro? I'd love to just strap a camera to Joe and go Joe, go. I'd love to. I'm going to try anyway. I've got some batteries. I've got some chargers. I've got a camera. I've got a fucking twat stick, or selfie stick as other people call them. I've got a twat stick. And I call them a twat stick because the reason why I've never vlogged this way is because I've always been the person that looks at the person with the stick and be like, you look like a twat. So I've always thought that having the stick would make me look like a twat. I've come to the realization I often look like a twat anyway.
So we're now just confirming it.
So we're just confirming the twat state.
Okay.
Exactly, right?
Okay.
So I already look like a twat. I've just doubled down on being a twat.
Doubling down.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right? So that's why I've got the twat stick. I don't call it a selfie stick. I call it a twat stick. I've got microphones, all that sort of stuff. We're going to give it a go. See what we can do. It might be shit. If it's shit, you'll never know because it will never go on the channel. In fact, you will know because it won't go on the channel. But oh, shit. Or what will normally happen is I'll start with the best intentions. This is what normally happens. I start with the best intentions. I do a bit of filming, do a bit of driving, do a bit of filming. I like start the vlog, and then I get to the venue and I get excited because there's people there, and I forget to get the camera out for the rest of the weekend. Well, I can't just put up a 5-minute video of I got in the car.
That's why we need to tag it to Joe's head. You can't forget it if it's literally stuck to someone.
Yeah.
Just remember to turn Joe on.
A Joe Pro Go on a Pro Go Joe Pro Go. Yeah. Kyle, your boss needs help moving a shed this weekend.
Kyle won't help bury me. He'd refuse to do it. He'd say this lovely
Kyle
little
will be
thing.
like, but if we bury Luce, I get more time with Liam.
No, you don't want more time with Liam, Kyle. He's untrainable, untamable. You don't want it.
I'm not untamable. Pretty untamable. Who knows? Who knows? Anyway, wood chipper, quick and easy. Oh, so now chat are literally just planning your demise.
That's fine, chat. I shall remember.
She will. Remember like a fucking elephant, this one.
I'll just get my little book out. Write all those names down.
That book has a name. I'm at your command. See? Kyle knows where it's at. You just need a documentary team following you around. Yeah, I don't have the ego for that. There are a couple of people in the community that have the ego for that, and unfortunately I'm not one of them, guys. I'm gonna give it a go. Look, I've been typically bad at it. I'm very aware that I've been bad at it. I want to add more variety of content to the channel that isn't just what we do so far. I need to get better at this. I'm gonna trial it this weekend and see if I can get better at it. And it might be shit. And I'm like, I think I'm now finally getting to the stage where some of this stuff I'm like, stop chasing perfect. And they always say that perfect is the enemy of done.
I don't think I would. My angle wouldn't be not that I'm trying to chase perfect. Just how do I
live without you?
How do I kick out something that doesn't feel self-indulgent?
Right. I mean, a vlog is inherently slightly self-indulgent. It just is because it's a vlog. So I think that there's also a degree of kind of just coming to peace with it being slightly self-indulgent. And I think you can be slightly self-indulgent without it being an ego trip. And I think that's the line for me. Like when it becomes ego, and again, there are people out there who I think are pure ego in our community. And I'm very conscious of how they come around and how they come across on camera, how they come across on content. More often than not, typically how they come across on things like Instagram. And I'm like, I don't want to avoid that. I'm okay with it being you're following me around for my weekend, which is inherently self-indulgent, right? That just is. Yeah. You can't help that. But you can be like, because these people subscribe to us to watch us, so there isn't a degree of that's what they want to see. So let's do this. Let's kind of do that. Let's enable that and be slightly self-indulgent. But let's not mix it in with incredible ego about I'm the most important person in the room. Because I can have a camera out and not be the most important person in the room. Does that make sense? Yeah. Demogorgon, thank you for the 5 gifted memberships. Up to 58, 42 to go with 18 minutes. And my voice is starting to go.
In that case, then, I wouldn't put it on in the car.
No, so I don't think I've got a car mount from ages ago. I don't know why I bought it. I do know why I bought it. I originally had this vision in my head that my GoPro would be our new dash cam, because dash cams are pretty shit. That's why I bought the car mount. I remember now. And I found it the other day, and I thought, oh, I could use this for vlogging, but I think maybe what we do is we film a bit of getting the shit in the car. Maybe we film a bit when we get to a service station for like a minute, if that, 30 seconds, right? It doesn't need to be you're watching me eat my McDonald's chips, because that would be fucking boring. That's, So I think like you can document the journey without filming yourself in the car. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not very good at this. I've never done it before. And like I said on the bike channel today, I want to do more vlogging because we had this conversation actually. You and I had this conversation here today. I just love making content.
The problem, because I have a friend who wanted to vlog, and they vlogged themselves in the car, and they very quickly found out they don't like the silences. So they started to fill the silences with absolute twaddle and bullshit and didn't edit it out. Because I thought, well, if you want to fill the silence while you're just recording and get it out there, get it out your system so you get comfortable with the silences because you run out of stuff to say, that's fine. But then when they released it as the finished product, I thought, it's just the sound of your own fucking voice now.
So part of the problem I've had with vlogging in general...
No, don't kill it. We need them. They're important to the ecosystem.
Well, the problem I've found with vlogging in general, and this has been very much the case of things that I've watched in the past as well, is when they are like you've just correctly alluded to, when they're literally filled with shit.
Yeah.
Right? When they're literally filled with, I've now watched 5 minutes of filler.
Yeah.
You've not made a point. Like I can watch filler when the individual's making a point.
Yeah.
And telling you something, or telling you a story, or telling you their intent or whatever. But it's just filler, and you're like, that's just been 5 minutes wasted. Now, I personally am an individual who likes watching vlogging content. I watch a fair amount of motorcycle vlogging content, as you know. That's one of the things I enjoy watching. I watched a lot of Peter McKinnon vlogging, and he used to go and do things where I had no interest in the activity he was doing. But the way in which he filmed it and the way in which he showcased made it interesting. Despite the fact it wasn't a topic typically I wouldn't tune in to watch a video on quad biking, because I don't really give a fuck about quad biking. And then he'd do a video about it. This is a random example, this isn't specific. And he'd do a video about it, and I'd like, that was quite good. I quite enjoyed that. So I think there is a sweet spot to be found, but I also think that my problem is, being a perfectionist, is I want to do the first one and for it to be a fucking banger and for it to be great.
Yeah.
It's just not going to happen.
No.
Because I've not got the experience of what to film, when to put the camera on, and I think one of the most important things for vlogging, knowing when to put the camera on, but the most important thing, knowing when to put it away.
Yeah.
Knowing when, like, I don't want everybody around me to think that there's always a chance I can be on camera.
Yeah.
Knowing when to put it away, I think, is just as important as knowing when to put it on.
And then it's almost like having a really good moment with a mate that's genuinely funny and genuinely filled with authenticity, and then you find out there's a camera on.
Yeah.
And you're like, so were we actually having a friendly moment, or was this all just for the camera?
Yeah.
Should that have been out? Could you have put that away?
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
And then I've also seen when people are vlogging on behalf of somebody, because you can't be doing 5 jobs at once.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's turned into footage of pretty much handshakes and selfies of the cameraman, not much to do with the business that you're vlogging about. And it can be for a really good cause. Maybe it's a charity event, and the overall tone, it looks like a holiday snap. It's not actually. So what were you there for? Oh, some charity. Yeah, I didn't get that.
Yeah, yeah.
I didn't get that at all.
I feel like for a vlog, so I'm gonna shill it a little bit now just because it's relevant, right? Did a vlog on the bike channel just to test the setup. And I've been meaning to do this for ages. I wanted to do it for ages, and I haven't had the courage to do it because I feel like it was going to look shit. It wasn't going to be very good. I would get a lot of it wrong. And having watched it back, there's a few things I'd change about it. I won't go into that now. That's irrelevant. But I also feel like to vlog, it needs to have a kind of purpose. Like it has to have a purpose. So what the individual that I think you're talking about, if it's the person I think you're talking about, I think the problem I had with their content was that often the vlog didn't have a purpose. I'm putting the camera on because I need to put the camera on, not because I have a reason to.
Yeah.
So the reason why I'm excited about it for the bike channel is because I'm not trying to make a living off of that channel. I'm not promising weekly releases or daily releases or fortnightly releases or even monthly releases. I just want to make content when I feel like it. So I can go, I've got a thing to do today. So because I've got a thing to do today, I can vlog it. I can make a video about it. So this weekend for Mikey, I'm not going to promise you guys in the Warhammer channel a weekly vlog. And the reason why I'm not going to promise you a weekly vlog is because often there'll be weeks where I feel like there isn't anything worth covering. So I'm not going to put the camera on literally for the sake of putting the camera on. So if we're going to go and do something, maybe Joe and I are going up to Warhammer World for something that we're allowed to talk about, perhaps. That could be something that's worth vlogging because there's a story. We're going up to Nottingham, we're making a journey, we're going somewhere, we're doing something, we're coming back, right? Mikey's event's the same. We're going for a weekend away at Mikey's event, and it is Mikey's event when we've taken the piss. I was winding him up today about dropping from the event after the... And his reply, Mike Gold, by the way, I love Mikey, right? Mikey was like, why would you drop from your own event? Fucking legend. What a fucking legend. It's like, oh, got him. Okay, good, fine. Anyway, but there's a purpose to the weekend, right? There's a story to be told. Me and Joe and Paddy are going up to this weekend to play Warhammer. There's a story. There's a reason to it. Rather than I'm putting the camera on because I feel like I have to, and I'm just gonna film myself getting dressed. There's no reason to that. There's no point to watch that story. There isn't. Brian, thank you for 5 gifted memberships, pushing us over 60. You beautiful human being. Thank you so much, you legend. Up to 63.
Could you argue then that because vlogging is so accessible to everybody, it's brought the quality of finished vlogs way down?
No, I think the opposite. So I actually believe that because there's so much of it about, it's actually brought... So the overall quality has done this. Right?
Okay.
There's a wider... I feel like there's now a wider spectrum of people making this kind of content. It's the same as things like Instagram Reels, Facebook Shorts, YouTube Shorts, YouTube videos in general, actually. You can go on YouTube today and you can still find a video that looks like the garbage that was going on YouTube 20 years ago, or close to 20 years ago, right? Where it looks like someone who's got a camera with some Vaseline across the lens, and it's very old home video, old VHS home, it's very old video, right? You can find those videos today. I was looking for some content today, and I clicked on a couple of videos that were very like 2005 when YouTube launched home video, and I was like, and then it's 90 seconds it was finished, I was like, the fuck did I just watch? And then you have your Peter McKinnons. I mentioned him because he's one of my favourites. And you watch that and you think, I could have watched that in a cinema because the editing is so fucking good.
Yeah.
It's so on point, right? The musical composition, the sound composition that he's put together. He's made a couple of YouTube films that he's put on there in the past. One of them, for example, is called The Bucket Shot. And if you watch it, he's got like about 7 lines of film that are layered over things. He's got about 20 lines of audio he's brought in sound. I watched him make it. It's phenomenal what he's done. So I think that what's happened with everyday vlogging is the spectrum has gone, all the way down to anyone with any kind of fucking iPhone or any kind of phone camera for that matter could make a vlog, all the way up to people that have spent hundreds of pounds on camera setups, gear, microphones, lighting, etc. And I think the divide has become huge. What I do think that means is that when one's really bad, it looks really bad, and when one's really good, it looks really good, because there is that now chasm of content from one end to the other. I think it's often the same for YouTube as well. I don't for like even Warhammer content. I don't think this is just unique to vlogging. I think this isn't unique to any kind of content. I think this is generally applied to all kinds of content. Granted, we're not necessarily the most polished bunch of presenters, Joe, but in terms of our quality of our setup and the quality we try and put, and we have issues. Live content's going to have issues. We watched live this morning on ITV that had issues talking to an interviewee, right? It happens. Live content happens. Part of why I love live content is because you get those gremlins and you think, fuck live, and you have to fix it. But we put out currently 5, soon to be 6, 4K cameras, ultra high resolution. We have a program scoreboard, and I try and make it as smooth and as clean and as beautiful as we can. There are other channels out there that put content out that I would be absolutely mortified if we put that on our channel. It happens, and they're proud of it. That's fine. And I'm not saying, I don't want to take anything away from that individual that's making that content, but the chasm in quality is huge. It's the same for vlogging. So I feel like you're right. There is a quality drop in some places because anyone can make it. And I've had a number of people before that have messaged me about making content in general, not live streaming specifically, and they said, I just haven't got the gear. Have you got a smartphone? Yes. You've got all the gear you need to start making content. I wouldn't be happy always making it on a smartphone, but these things on the back of, this is an iPhone 15, these things on the back, I can go out in the wilderness tomorrow with my $2,000 camera that's sat looking at me now and my iPhone, and I can take a bunch of pictures, and a lot of people won't be able to tell the difference because iPhone cameras are so fucking good, right? So yeah. I when people say I haven't got the gear, you absolutely have. You can start making content. I'm not a person that would ever want to stay making it with a phone personally. I'll be want to making it with proper cameras, etc. You absolute bitch. I'm so glad you had that cherry sweet on Friday.
Oh, what? Cherry sweet?
Yeah.
The one that shot straight back out my mouth. I've had a great day off.
Yeah. I wish you'd have a fucking day off. Don't fucking laugh at her, Kev.
Having a laugh is important.
I should have guessed when you started typing, grinning at me. Like you'd come to fucking work on a minibus. Jesus Christ. I thought it was an interesting discussion, actually, for a moment there.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah. Absolute wanker. This is what I got to put up with, team.
Nah, you're hardly here.
We're still 37 members away as well, chat. Just 37. There's 203 people watching right now. If every single person in chat gifts 5 right now, we'll make the 100 target. That's how maths works, Luce. Don't look at me like that. That's how maths works.
Is that my maths or your
maths?
It's
your maths. Yeah,
or
it's
Joe
Joe's maths. Yeah. Maths with an F. Yeah. Absolutely. If every single one of you 200 people gifts 5, we can exclude the people that have already gifted 5. We'll probably make the 100. We'll probably make the 100 target if my maths is correct. Right? Probably. Discussions are two-way. If she asked me a fucking question, I answered it. All right? Bastards. You're all bastards. Long story short, I'm going to vlog this weekend. I think it'll be fun.
But you're not going to put it on in the car?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't see a reason why. Electman, thank you for the 1 gifted. You're a legend. Up to 64. We'll do it one at a time. Thank you, Electman. 1 more, we're at 65. Then it's just multiples of 5. Christopher Sanford, Police Station Gloucester, did the 5. Thank you so much, Christopher Sanford, Police Station Gloucester. 69, everyone's favourite number. Isn't that right, babe? See? That's why I keep her around. It's not all bad.
Not all bad.
Prentice, thank you for the one gifted. Up to 70. 30 to go, team. You're amazing. I love you. Mark Bell. I don't know if I've seen that name before, gifting members. Thank you so much for 5 gifted memberships. You legend. I'm doing it manually, team. I'm doing it manually. We're getting there. Thank you, Mark Bell, for 5 more gifted. You're a hero. Love you all. That's all I can voice. Black man, you're amazing. Thank you. Don't worry about it. 5-minute warning. She's already got a fact ready. Don't you worry, guys. We're on it now. Professional, consummate professionals nowadays. I feel like I want to put something else in this cabinet as well. I feel like I want to get another Lego motorbike.
What's missing from the top?
Up there?
Yeah.
All the boxes. They went to the studio.
Oh, okay.
So I started to clear all this off because I had this idea that I would remove the 2 top shelves, move Rivendell down 2 levels, move the 2 top shelves, and put Barad-dûr behind me here. But I lose a lot of shelf space. And up there I've got all my medals and stuff. I don't really want to lose all that shelf space. So now I'm thinking about getting a little plinth, and where the 2 chairs are in the studio, putting Barad-dûr on a plinth behind that.
I have a question.
Right, is this a yes or no answer, or can I say more than one word?
How do you say the Lego thing?
Barad-dûr.
You know how there's loads of pop culture in Warhammer?
Yeah.
Is there some kind of link between that Lego piece and then Borada?
No.
So Tolkien isn't Welsh.
No.
There's no, because he wrote Lord of the Rings in the trenches.
He wrote a lot of the narrative for Lord of the Rings in the trenches.
So
I think he wrote the Elven language and stuff like that in there.
because
I don't think he wrote the books in the trenches, but
it sounds really close, and I thought
Barad
is there
B-R-A-D
yeah
hyphen
yeah
D-U with a little hat.
I know it's not exactly it, but it's very close, and I just thought there's loads of links. Everyone says write about something you know, so I thought, is Tolkien Welsh, or was he with a Welshman somewhere?
No. If Tolkien was Welsh, I wouldn't like Lord of the Rings very much. Yeah. I can't imagine it as either. I can't imagine like the battle for Helm's Deep, and then Frodo looks across and is like, "Shit myself, have you?"
Elven is based on Welsh, so there is a link.
No, I don't think it is. I think I'm lying.
It's too close to be coincidence.
Elven's not based on Welsh. It's nonsense. Nonsense.
I don't know. I think there's something in it.
No, nonsense. Absolute nonsense.
I think there's something in it. That's what I'm saying. It's too close to be coincidence.
He said specifically he doesn't believe in intentional allegory, so if that's what he did, it wasn't a conscious decision. See, Electman's got my back. Elvish is mostly based on Finnish. That's what I thought. Tolkien was South African. Yep.
Are you telling me the internet's a liar? Because it says here Tolkien stated explicitly that he was English from Worcestershire.
Worcestershire. Yeah, his parents were South African, weren't they?
So you're saying the internet's lying?
I mean, the internet, if you search hard enough, will tell you the Earth's flat loose.
So you're telling me? I think there's something in it. It's way too close.
I'd like to learn Elvish.
I reckon it's a bit like most languages. If you get the masculine and feminine thing, I think that was what was really tricky about me and James learning German, was the der, dem, die, das shenanigans.
Why was that tricky?
Because I think when you're starting out, because we say the table, the chair, the boy, the girl, there isn't necessarily a masculine and feminine reference to that noun. But in German, they change a lot. So
I think the thing is as well, when it comes to like Tolkien and well, not just Tolkien actually, you can, when it comes to any kind of literature like that is outside of an author who's currently living, it's like a lot of history, right? A lot of history is based on interpretation and opinion.
Yeah.
And so I think sometimes people can go, we assume that this is the case, rather than it actually being true. I've watched, because I like history, I've watched a number of historians talk about the same event, and they all draw slightly different conclusions as to what the intent was, or what the, So I think you have to be a bit careful there.
Melon.
I like a bit of melon.
Thanks, Warhammer. Thanks for the 2. I'd have rather 25 gifted, but thanks for the 2. An Elvish nerd. I'm a massive nerd, though. I used Elvish last night in D&D, you legend. Liam, not even a Tolkien fan by the sounds of it. Garcy, out.
I'm warning you now, Liam. Letting Luce watch Lord of the Rings, she will find a way to ruin it for you.
She won't. Absolutely won't. Anyway, team, it's time. Team, it's time. It's time for team. Team, we are done. It is time for loose fact. Have you got a loose fact ready? Have you picked one?
Yep, I misread it a minute ago.
Have you reread it now correctly?
Yeah.
Okay, good. So
Matt, I challenge you to guess what I misread it as.
So we have loose fact. If you're new here, we still have 200 people watching. If you're new here, this is the part at the end of the show where Luce is going to read us a fact from her book of facts. Fun fact about the book of facts: it's not very factual, right? The biggest indication to how unfactual it is the fact that it's called 365 facts and it's missing one. So far we are aware that it's only actually 364 books of facts. And when you can't even believe the front page, it calls into question the rest of the content inside this document, right? So I'm not entirely sure how true these are. In fact, I'd suggest that on average, the majority of facts that have been pulled out of this book have been loose instead of loose. What do I mean by that? Well, if it's true, you spell it as per her name. So you're going to decide now whether it's true or false. True is L-U-C-E, loose. It's a name. Loose has given you a fact. False is L-O-O-S-E, like moose, but loose, right? A moose, loose, about this hoose, yes. And that's where it's complete bollocks. It's loose fact. It's not true. It's very loose. There's no actual substance to this whatsoever.
We're playing fast and loose with the word fact.
Yeah. I have not eaten a lot today as well. The meat's gone. I'm slurring a lot. So we need to get this out of the way.
Okay.
You can have your wicked way with me, right? Are you ready for this?
Yeah.
Butterflies taste with their feet.
What did I misread that as?
Taste with their feet.
Yeah.
That'd be awful.
But not if it's all you've ever known.
What if you step in dog shit?
Oh, it tastes awful.
Oh, Saints are winning. Get in. We have multiple wrong facts from that book. Exactly. Yeah. What did you... What was... Okay, chat. So people are already deciding that they reckon it's true. Okay.
Because it is.
But what did she misread it as? Butterflies taste with their feet. It's 5 words. How did you misread that? Taste with their face?
No.
No? Okay. I reckon the word taste is the one you misread.
No. If you put the speakerphone on again, I can read it as what I misread it as.
Butterflies taste like feet.
I would have preferred that fact.
I had to go back to the page like, wait, what?
I would have preferred that
Who
fact.
tasted a butterfly?
I'd have absolutely preferred that fact. Butterflies taste like feet. Whose feet? Whose feet? Who have you compared it to?
How did that even happen? Did it fly into your mouth? Were you catching butterflies to taste?
There'll be a delicacy somewhere. Somewhere people will be eating butterflies, babe. That happens. Everything that lives is eaten by someone.
I saw 2 young girls on the internet cook a frying pan's worth of tarantulas. That kept me up for a week.
Nobody says Southampton winning. Now that's loose. Well, it is, because it literally just equalises. You said that. Genius. Right. Anyway, thank you so much for hanging out with us tonight, chat. We didn't... Not many people want to see different games. So we'll just stick to 40k in AOS, I guess. Anyway, thank you so much for hanging out with us tonight. I hope you've enjoyed it. Tomorrow, we're back at 1:30 with a normal Liam and Joe show. Not a Liam and Paddy show, not a Liam and Kyle show, not a Liam Hobby Marathon show. An actual normal Liam and Joe show comes back tomorrow. And that's been over 2 weeks since we've had a normal Liam and Joe show.
Yeah.
Because of his holiday, it is sick, etc. So we've got Liam and Joe show back at tomorrow at 1:30. In the evening at 7:30, Brom is back against Joe, and Joe will be bringing brand new Blood Angels from the new Blood Angel supplement. So you get to look forward to that tomorrow night at 7:30. That'll be the last stream of the week and the last stream of August, because on Friday there'll be no After Dark stream as we're off to Sheffield to go and show the Northerners how it's done. Badly. Right? I dropped a shit ton. Yeah, alright. Star Pilot against Middle Earth, because she tried. She tried hard. Okay? Anywho, thank you so much for hanging out with us, you beautiful people. I will be vlogging this weekend, and hopefully I'll make some content out of it in the coming week. And maybe we'll be able to put something together. I might, Dan, how'd you fancy editing a vlog stream thing stuff? Yeah? Cool. Anyway, is there anything you want to say, Luce, before we go?
No.
Now she doesn't want to say anything. Okay, so thank you so much for hanging out with us tonight, you beautiful people. Hopefully we'll get to see you all tomorrow for our 2 streams. You're amazing. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you in the next one.